Hey, Talks Beyond Barbell, episode 10.
Double digits, baby.
But we here. All right. We here.
Episode 10.
So how are you?
We made it. Double digits.
Are you doing well?
I'm doing well.
Okay, that's good.
How are
You
you?
ready? I'm doing well. Are we ready to pod?
I'm ready.
Pod of we.
You got some good topics, so I'm ready for you.
All right. So topic number 1: submission in relationships.
I'm going to let you start with this one.
So I had to kick this one off because obviously it's a hot topic going around period right now about being submissive and what that means. And obviously for women, it's a very touchy subject. You got a lot of women, as soon as the topic is broached, it's hellfire. It's literally flames coming out people's ears. Trying to say how they not going to be submissive. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing that. They not trying to do this. They not trying to do that. But as I continue to say, that's all well and good. But you don't have to be traditional in a sense anymore. Because I don't think, as a man, I'm not even considering anything traditional nowadays in a woman sometimes. Even if they have those traits, I'm not even going into it thinking that I'm dealing with traditional women because we just not in that time anymore. So
Can you define a traditional
well,
for someone who doesn't know what you're
I
talking
think a traditional woman just cut and dry somebody, let's be honest, especially, probably what we talking about back in probably 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s, somebody just cook, clean, take care of the house, take care of the kids. Maybe they had a career, maybe they didn't, but those were kind of the basis of what they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially maybe our grandparents, how some of our parents were raised and how they did things.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's just not the case. Women aren't doing that. A lot of women putting their career first. A lot of women want to be more out in front. They want to be more the lead role in their relationships. And, we in a time where women just kind of taking more of an active role in whatever they doing, whether it's career-wise, whether it's within their families. Sometimes they being forced to do so, and other times,
we're taking the initiative.
Exactly. So that's just kind of where we at. So,
I think my question to you is, as a man, how important is submission in our relationship?
I think it's important. I think it's somewhat important because I think in any relationship, a man has to be able to be that. And I keep saying that, like, and a big reason why a lot of men don't stay around is because sometimes men feel like second-class citizens in their own home. So that's why it kind of takes me back to, again, when Aisha Curry came out and said that she felt like Steph, her husband, was the most important thing, right? And women killed her. They could have threw a brick and hit her upside her head that night. But it held a lot of validity because if the relationship between the man and the woman not right, then it goes down to the children anyway. So that's not going to be right either.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I think what she was basically saying was she allows Steph to be a man. She allows Steph to take the lead. She allows Steph. But I think you have to have a man that's ready for leadership. And so a lot of times, and that's somewhere where we drop the ball, right? We got to be prepared to be leaders, and we can't ask women to submit when we're not ready to be leaders in our own homes and our own families. But on the other hand of that, women have to allow men to actually be that. You have to allow a man to be a man, especially a man that is ready to lead, that is showing you he want to lead. You have to allow that to happen. But nowadays, a lot of women don't want to do that because of society, because of this, because of that, because it don't look like this, because it don't look like that. And so we in a constant fight in our own homes. And that's why I had that conversation with you all the time. I wish we just get back to a time where men and women actually appreciate each other and love each other, because we so far removed from that. It just, at this point, it feel like an ego contest day in and day out, whether it's social media, real life, television, and that's how I feel. And whenever the pendulum swings, it swings, and people get upset, and people don't want to do this, and people not doing this, and people feel entitled to do this. So,
I think there's a lot of working pieces to submission, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, for me, I'm a very independent, outspoken person.
Of course.
I don't think that's a surprise to anybody.
No, not at all.
But I do think it depends on how submission is brought up in a conversation, in a relationship.
Of course.
I think some men use submission as a power hand, where, in my opinion, I think submission works both ways. There's a time and a place for a woman to submit to her husband or man, boyfriend, whatever level of relationship you're in. But I also think there's a time for a man to submit to his wife and to allow her to sort of lead in certain aspects. And I think you brought up a good point in that you have to be with a man that is ready to lead. And I think a lot of women, myself included, have a bad taste in our mouth when it comes to submission because we've been burned by men who were not ready to lead. And in turn, okay, we're trying to be good women and follow in the role that is, asked of us sometimes.
All laid out for you guys.
Exactly. And then in turn, a man who is not ready to lead fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
And here we are still cleaning up the mess and still putting the pieces together and making sure things fall in line. So I think for me, it's scary to fully submit to somebody because I don't necessarily trust that they will be a good leader. Okay. Because I have been misled. Yeah. And in turn, on the other side, I have been in healthy relationships where as an outspoken, independent, like super strong-willed female, I have felt safe and felt secure that I can fall into a more like feminine energy and allow that man to sort of lead the relationship. And I think too, we have a misconception that submission means following everything that person
and that's
has
so
to
silly.
say.
That's so
but
dumb.
I think it's important to hear from a woman as well, because as soon as a man starts talking about submission,
exactly. Sometimes it just tunes
you
out.
just shut you just shut your ears off. And I've been guilty of it myself, but I think we've talked about it more and more. We had a great conversation the other day with some friends about submission in a relationship, and I think we're talking about it more and more, which is great because we really need to take the negative connotation off of it, and allow people to understand that submission is allowing someone else to take the forefront for the time being. It doesn't mean that they are making every beck and call. I think historically speaking, when we look at submission back in the early days, like you said, our parents and grandparents, the men did do just that. They made all the money. They made all the decisions. They ran the finances, and the woman stayed home and took care of the house and the children. But I think as time has progressed, submission looks different now.
Of course.
Than it did then, because we as women bring more to the table, and it becomes a give and take in the relationship. Yeah. But I also think, too, what you had said about men leading the household is important as well, because we have a lot of strong-willed women out here that are not allowing men to have their masculine energy. Exactly. And as much as we do it as a defense mechanism sometimes, it's important to remember that if we allow a man the opportunity to be the leader, we may have the opportunity to enjoy that feminine energy that we don't get to be in very often in this day and age. Like, a lot of women are, like you said, forced to be more. Yeah, and let's be real. Sometimes it's a choice. No, I don't disagree.
Because we getting, it's just like I said. It's a funny time. It's a funny time for relationships. It's a funny time in trying to determine roles. Because now the lines are being so blurred, and people want it to be blurred. But again, when I go back and say this, it's only blurred when it's convenient sometimes, and it can't just be that way. You know what I mean? And that's why last week on the pod we talked about that sometimes, about how frustrating it is being a man and how, why men go through some of the things we go through. It is frustrating because you ask to do a lot when it's convenient. And then when it's not, hey, you should do this. Well, that's not always going to work. So, I just think we do have to get back to a place where people accept roles and are fine with it, especially when it's healthy and people are doing what they supposed to. Now, as Deshaun sitting up here saying, to sit up here and continue to follow somebody who's leading your ass straight to hell, no. But at the end of the day, it's okay to be in a healthy relationship where there's clearly defined roles and your man is taking the leadership role and you comfortable with being in your feminine energy and handling your role as well. And I go back to this in sports because it's so important in sports, man. Some people in relationships just don't know how to play their role and be a star in their role. So what happens is the whole relationship going to hell because everybody trying to take control and be a leader. And that's just not going to work. And so people say what they want to say. If it's too many Chiefs, I don't care what you're doing, it probably is a terrible situation.
Yeah.
So, we got to be careful with kind of what we throwing out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you talk about roles and being a star in your role.
Tenfold.
In an ideal relationship situation for you.
Yeah.
What do you think those roles look like in today's day and age?
I think that it's okay for a man to be in the head and be the leader of his family, especially if he's leading them and doing things in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I think it's healthy for him and his wife to work together, them to share input on things. I think it's healthy for them to show a solid foundation for their children of what love, what respect, what loyalty, what honesty can be. Mm-hmm. And I think it's healthy for them to work together. That would be ideal. Mm. But I think it's also nice to see a woman, hey, let her husband do certain things.
Like what?
Just in a sense, just kind of, just be a positive, masculine influence in his own home. Just as far as maybe just something as simple as, how things are handled or, something as simple as how the bills paid. Maybe how you allocate those responsibilities around the household or, I think it always should be a healthy dialogue, and it needs to be that. But it'd be nice, for a man to kind of take his place where he should be or where, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, but if a man's willing to lead and be that, it'd be nice if a woman allows that, especially if it's a healthy thing and they both have healthy dialogue in the direction of the family. But once that's decided, okay, all right, babe, hey, look, I'm going to let you go ahead and take care of this. All right. And I think sometimes it's okay, cool for a man to say, all right, babe, you know a little bit more about this than me. I'm going to fall back. I'm going to let you go ahead and do what you do on that one. That's what I'm talking about. But I think nowadays, once again, what I told you, ego's so involved, we can't even get to that healthy of a space because we listen to Joe Blow on the internet who done had 15 failed relationships, or some of these dudes and women that ain't had a healthy relationship since birth, but we listen to them like everything they got to say is, because I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and act like, oh, my relationship been sweet that crazy. And that's why I'm not going to talk. Okay. That's why I'm not. All of us. That's we what I'm saying. All say that. And that's why I'm not going to talk to people from a point of, oh, you just been doing it. No, I haven't. You know what I'm saying? But I think some people get on the internet and they get a lot of bravado or they start to pandering and then people
they co-sign.
Yes, it's so right.
Well, and I think it's good for us to talk about in an ideal situation, right? Because like you said, no relationship is perfect. I think for me, a lot of what I look for in my relationships are things that I was lucky enough to see like my parents do, right? Yeah. So my dad is the head of the household. When push came to shove financially, he was the breadwinner. My mom worked a lot, but my dad still made more than her. But at the end of the day, they knew each other's boundaries. So although my dad was the leader, my mom did a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. So she was better at finances. So even though he made more money, my mom would manage, like, she pays to this day. She pays all of the bills for the household. Like, she makes sure everything's paid on time. She's more timely with that. But when it came to, like, fixing things, making decisions, discipline sometimes, like when my brother and I would get out of line, like, my mom would say stuff, but my dad would always be kind of like the enforcer, right? Like, and I think that it comes down to just that, is leveraging. Yeah. Like, that's what, again, to me, that's what submission is in this day and age, is like learning your partner and then leveraging what you're each good at, so that way you can maximize each other's partnership.
And I love it. Again, like what we talk about, be a star in your role. Yeah. Like, so whatever your role, you and your dad, your mom and your dad got clearly defined roles, and people star in their role, and they play their part, and it works. But we in a time period where people don't want to play; they want to be the star. Yeah. So and that's the issue.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's the issue. So,
but I think we just need to take the stigma off of submission.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're becoming a slave to somebody.
At all. And if that's what it means,
case,
then you need to get up out of there.
Whoop! Fast as you got there. Yeah. Out. I'm running.
All right, topic 2, because I'm going to throw this at you. Yeah, this one spicy. So, like I said, because I just, man. Because, you know, and shout out to my lady, man. I love y'all. We love y'all out here.
We love the ladies.
Love them. But
I don't know what
just something that I've been just running across is this whole city girl mindset, right? The fuck, man, I don't need nobody. Fuck, man, I buy me a Birkin bag. Oh, I'm rich. Oh, pay all the bill. You don't pay all the bill. You ain't getting it. So we in that space. And I see on social media, you see a lot of women rocking and doing this. And, oh, I don't need no man. I'm by myself. Oh, Oh, I only need a man when I need this or that. Cool. I don't have no problem with it. But I'm just trying to say, then
2 hours later.
I'm so lonely. I just wish I had found some love for me. What? So, again, and then it goes back to then I want to still be wiped up. So, I guess my question to you is, the city girl mindset, that's topic number 2, the city girl mindset, but I'm still looking to get wiped up. Holla at me, tell me, because I don't understand. Like, I need help because I don't get it. Well, so you talk to me because I'm trying to understand.
I don't know how much help I'm going to be.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I really don't understand. And I think we just come from a place of, right now, I think we talked about it, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Where, like, we're taking some of these movements and going far left, right? Like,
I'm telling you,
I
man.
am queen.
Far right, left. Yeah.
I am queen of woman empowerment.
Come on, man.
I am queen of equal rights.
Yeah.
Like, I will fight for the right thing on all platforms, not just for something that benefits me, right? But I think we get to this place and this mindset that men owe us the money, the gifts, I'm not going to give you any... what, if you don't do X, Y, and Z for me financially. And at that point, my question to people that look at things that way is like, what are you bringing to the table? Because most of these people that feel that way
not one thing.
Are not well educated. They don't have a career path. They are looking for a get rich fast off of somebody else's handle. And and like I told people all the time, I'm cool with it, because me and you talk about this and be candid. However you choose to make your money, cool. But and a lot of this come from women that's in certain industries and move certain ways, but then still expecting certain things after moving certain ways. It like unless like you find yourself with a partner that's cool with that, understands that life and move with you, okay. If you don't, that's gonna be an issue. Right.
You know
what
I'm saying?
Is it that you say, like, how you get them is
how you keep them.
Right. So I think you have to understand, like, if you find a man that's willing to throw money at you, odds are he's probably throwing money in a few different
places
because he is probably well financed and has the ability to do that, and so in turn is going to reap the benefits of his finances because he can.
And if you get a woman that way, as a man, that's what go. Hey, you better keep it up.
Right. And I think,
and that's it.
Our women today, especially our young women who are absorbing all of this information, need to remember that you have to value yourself and what you bring to the table before you ask anybody else to start doing things for you. And if you're just getting money for things, what message are you sending that person that is then financing you?
Yeah.
What are you demanding of them when it comes to respect, when it comes to
Of course.
anything really?
I just don't understand the mindset just wild, because it's kind of like where's the mindset coming from? Like, my thing is, and I've told you this 1,000 times, if I sold drugs, I'm leaning into selling drugs, and I understand that don't come with no respect. That probably is not going to get me. That's not going to get me the types of relationships I want, things like that.
Right.
But I have
You're
to
not
lean.
gonna be president
That's what I'm saying. But I have to lean into that, and it just feel like sometimes
it's a lifestyle.
people don't want to lean. Like, whatever you are, and I'm fine with that. But it's this blurred line where I'm trying to be this, but I want that.
Yeah.
I want to be this, but I want that. Sometimes as people, we just got to, hey, look, bro, I've decided to do what I do, and I understand certain things ain't for me. But when I talk about the mindset, you can't ask a man or a decent man to invest in that. And so that's why I be trying to talk like, and I'm not, and this ain't just a throw, but we talking about this topic. But at the end of the day, it be wild to me. These women feel like a good, decent man gonna invest in you. Ain't no way. Why would I? And it's like I keep trying to say, and I'm gonna say this again and again. This go for men and women. If anybody can have it, I don't want it. What? And that's just that. Or if anybody can have it and they playing with it, I'ma play with it too. So at the end of the day, that's what you get. So you can't expect. Why would I take that seriously?
Right.
Why? And that's why, and people just dumbfound me thinking people just gonna take that seriously. No. What is the reason, honest to God reason, I should take that seriously as a man or woman, if whatever side? But we on the topic of City Girl. Why would I even take that seriously for my life? So again, we talk about some of these things. Man, a Birkin bag to some people is a house payment and a car note. So
I don't even know.
And that's what I'm saying. A Birkin bag to some people is a house note and a car note. You got some women asking, talking about what they deserve. Man, you can't even afford that. So, and that's why I be trying to say some of the things men and
noble.
That's what I'm saying.
If
But
we're making a
but some of the things that men
nice new pair of lifters
and women ask for, especially women, because we on that topic, just be amazing. Man, you want somebody to buy something for you can't afford? Come on.
But I think the second part of your question was why a couple days later or the next post on social media, are they crying for a man's love or for partnership? But I think because that's a natural yearning, right? Like materialistic things only temporarily fill that gap.
And before, because I'm going to let you finish, because I know you about to go, or just the physical nature. At some point, you want more than just having sex with people. And that's the fact.
Yep. But I think what happens is it is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That mentality is a lifestyle. And once you are in too deep, it's very difficult for people to then, in turn, even if you choose to go back to life before.
Yes, that
to
part.
change that perception of you, right? Like, and at the end of the day, as much as we don't want to say it, perception is reality.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And how you carry yourself, in this
matter,
world,
man.
And how people remember you and perceive you, and the image that you have transcends time.
Always.
And that's why I think in the young people that we get to sort of talk to and impress upon is to remind them that, yeah, you're young right now, but the things and the decisions that you make now you will carry for the rest of your life. And I think that's why we see those, what is it, City Girls? What do you say?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, that you see them sort of backstep because they realize that there isn't really fulfillment in that.
It's not.
In those things.
In
and
those
in that
things.
lifestyle.
In those lifestyles.
It's surface level.
I
and
really
nobody, even nobody wants to have something surface level. At the end of the day, we all want companionship.
And at the end of the day, like I tell people, man, it's certain things in this life that I know people didn't wake up in the morning and said they just want to do for a living.
Right.
I just know it. And people can lie between their teeth and sit up there because it's making them so much money now. The money just done blinded everything.
Right.
But come on, dog. You don't want even if you in it, it's nowhere in the world you could turn around and look at your little kids or look at hey, man, this is what I want for you. Mm-hmm. And if you do, some of y'all sick. Because you don't want that for your kid. Who would want that? And like I said, I get we living in the age where people turn to anything to make $1 and we just don't, and ain't no shame in nothing. But come on, man. At some point in time, like I said, it's things like, and I'm so happy you said that. Like at some point in time, man, look, it matters to get fulfillment out something you doing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said. I can't rock with some of this stuff with people just doing stuff and it don't bring nothing. Like, I could never imagine living this life and not being of value to other people. Mm. Because because when you jump in that casket, I believe in Jesus Christ. People don't, and I don't hold against if you believe Buddhism, whatever your religion is, man. When you jump in that casket, all you taking with you is your memories, what you did here, the what you did for people, how you support the people, like the relationships you built. That's what matter when you jump in that casket. So you ain't taking that money with you, and that's why people be up. You ain't taking that. So man, while I'm here, regardless of whatever y'all think the afterlife gonna look like for you, I'm gonna make sure I did some good here, man. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make sure I loved on some people here, man. I'm gonna make sure that people knew I cared, I believed in them. I'm gonna make sure I was a decent human being here, and that's just me. Now, do everybody have to feel that sentiment? They do not. But we gotta, like, some of this mindset and some of this stuff just at the end of the day is getting to be a bit much. Right. Especially when you keep blurring the line. And me and you talk about this all the time. You can't ask for this, but expect that. Mm-hmm. You can't get this, then want that. Okay. So whichever what you do, lean. But don't be trying to split hairs.
And once you make your bed,
that's what I'm saying. You need to sink in it. But don't be trying to split hairs and then sometimes you get overwhelmed and super emotional and now you second guessing what you done did. Because at some point in time, like I tell my kid, ain't no coming back. Mm-hmm. So you going to have to either live with that, or if you can't live with that, you probably shouldn't be doing it anyway.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's why, especially in the day and age that we live in now with social media, like when we were young, we had the opportunity to make mistakes and things were not plastered everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
You know, now you make a mistake and it is forever on the internet and your future employers can look it up and things like that. So you really, really, really have to make these life decisions with caution.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I like it, man. Topic number 2 is hot, but I like it. I like diving into that with you. Girl. Hey. Do your thing. All right. So topic 3. I'm gonna throw this at you.
You be throwing a lot at me.
I know. I'm gonna throw them at you tonight. I got a serious question for you. All right. Topic number 3 is handling your emotions and weightlifting. How do you feel? Talk to the people.
I feel like that's probably the hardest thing in this sport.
Yeah.
In general.
Okay.
Because anybody can learn to move weights.
Yeah.
But not everybody can master their mind.
Of course.
And if you really love the sport and want to get better, when things are not moving the way you feel or you're not progressing as quickly as you feel that you should for the amount of work that you're putting in, it can feel like you're bashing your head against a wall.
Of course.
And there may be some tears shed. On the platform.
I agree.
And I think as difficult as that is, it just shows how much you actually want to be good and get better in your sport. But as the athlete, it's so important to learn to get over that hurdle because it only holds you back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part, like stepping into the coaching role, is seeing our athletes hit that wall with their emotions.
Struggle with it,
Whether that is frustration in practice or nerves in a meet, it's very difficult because nobody can get you over that hurdle except for yourself.
Except for yourself.
It is an internal battle every single day. Every time you step on that platform, it's you and that barbell against the world.
Yeah.
And until you can master your mind, it's a dangerous game that you're playing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. The sport's hard. And I tell people that all the time. Learning to master your emotions in the sport, in this sport, is so key. To me, and I tell people this all the time, weightlifting is probably the most mentally taxing sport that I've ever participated in.
I would agree.
And I played every sport pretty much. Aside from baseball, I played every single sport. So the mental, for like 1 year. But really? I didn't like it that much, but like 1 year. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
I would like to see it. Roll the clip.
So at the end of the day, it's just kind of one of them situations where you have got to find peace within yourself, within your routine, within your structure, within your training, because
within your journey, right? You have to understand where you're at.
Because I'm going to tell you, in this sport, it's some years, months is lows, and you just stuck in mud. And you're battling every day, and you get injured. Because anybody that say they ain't never been injured doing the sport line, or they ain't dealing with something right now line. So you find a way in the midst of all this to just try to conquer your own mind, because it's times where in this sport you can go through 6 months to a year lull. You can go through a time period where you injured and you dealing with it and you lifting every day and nobody know. You go through time periods where you killing it in training but get the meets and the meat just don't ever click. And you have to love it. You have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the journey with this sport. If you don't enjoy those things, then it's not for you, because ultimately you're going to have your success in spots, but you're going to feel some failure. Defeated. It's going to feel bad sometimes. It's going to be times where you not going to feel good, or you going into some of the biggest competitions of your life injured or not feeling this well, and you got to figure out a way to pull this off.
Or you might be like me and feel that you have had the best training cycle of your life. And then you get to the meet, and for whatever reason, the circumstances of that day have just...
But I tell you,
it's not your day.
A lot of people struggle with that, though, Sarah. And that's why I said I've always appreciate you being candid with that. But that's a lot of people struggling in sport. You have a lot of people that struggle. They'll find peace in training that they don't find on that platform.
I would agree.
Because like I tell people all the time, I've had athletes that have been great in practice just to get to the meet, and they never are able to find that comfort there. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the crowd, judges, the competition.
The atmosphere.
Because not everybody enjoys competition.
Want to play a game?
Hey, we here. Let's do a few hot takes. We'll do a few. What do you say? About 3? Should we do 3?
I was going to say 3 to 5.
Okay, 3. 3's a good number. Let's rock out.
3's my birthday,
all right,
so
cool.
I'm happy with that.
We're going to do some hot takes.
Would you like to shuffle the deck?
Yeah, I love to shuffle the deck. Oh, I don't want to shuffle. I don't know how to shuffle the deck, but you shuffle.
You don't know how to shuffle?
Nah, man. I don't play cards like that.
Yeah, but like when you were a kid?
Nah, I never got it.
Really? Like this?
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to pull 2 and you pull 1. Oh, you pull 2, I pull 1.
Oh, were we answering the same one, not asking each other?
Huh? Nah, I'm going to pull 2, then I'm going to ask you. You can pull, like, how you going to do it?
I'll follow your lead.
All right, here we go. This one for you. First one.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Can't put that one out.
Wait, can I read it?
Yeah, you can. But I can't put that on this part. Oh. All right. Yeah. That part. Oh.
Didn't we answer this one
Yeah,
last week?
no, we didn't.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, I'll put it back. You lucky too, because I was going to fire you up.
I know you
All right,
were.
here we go. Whoa. This here crazy, but I'm going to ask it. If you could only save one, your mother
Oh, no.
or your significant other, who are you saving and why? Now, if you don't want to answer that, you can be, and we can go to the next one.
Well, I don't have a significant other.
Okay, so
I'm
say your
saving my
mama.
mom.
All right, cool.
But I think I would still save my mom.
Wow. That's a tough one. I don't even like to answer questions like that because in nature, it's ridiculous because who actually knows what they're going to do in that situation?
And that's
like if your kid and your mom was on there. Then more people going, see what I'm saying?
It's one of
That
those
won't even like to
things
answer
where
that.
it's
That's a bad question.
That's a hard.
Yeah.
It depends on the circumstances. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people would be like I know my mom. So if it was between my mom and my mom was looking at me and she'd be like, pick your significant other. I'm older. It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like we're in a burning building.
Yeah.
And you got to pick.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
I was just watching, I don't know, I watched Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Station 19, but the field caught on fire in the Halloween episode, and the dad was like, take my son, it's okay, let me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it.
That's
tough.
hard.
That's tough. I still wait for no question.
Mom for life.
All right.
This says, can you dance? Can you dance?
Yeah.
If so, show me your best dance.
Oh, nah, we good. Put that card down, man. B, it's so late at night. Y'all crazy. Y'all think I'm about to get on here. Oh, you ready? What's that one? That one must be a good one because you put it back down.
No, I was waiting for you to say
okay.
why you're not going to dance.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
Okay, what are you most afraid of and why?
Oh, man.
And it can't be like a spider.
Oh, no.
I'd
say my biggest fear, and I think any man would say that, is just not being able to adequately care for yourself or the people around you. You know what I mean? So, like, as a man, I think being able to support yourself is probably one of the big. I don't care what man you talk to. If they in a space where they can't support themselves, you looking at a man that's in hell. Period. And it's just one of them things. And again, you heard me say take care of myself or others. So if you got a family, I think that's the worst fear for a man. Not be able to support himself or the people around him that he loves or his family, right? Because, as men, it's in us to be that foundational piece for our family. So no matter what, and even some men get in trouble for this, right? We talked about that all the time, thinking that they just supposed to be a support for their family. But that's a big deal to a man. So if I had to say anything, it's just my number one fear is just not being able to support myself or others or things I'm doing because, sometimes even if you don't think so, it's a lot of people that need you, need your energy, need your support, need your love, especially as a man. And so when you're not able to provide that, for me, that's a scary thing. So that's how I would answer that. All right, you getting the last one. Here we go. Woo. Oh, it's a good one. What do you consider to be husband/wife only benefits? Should these benefits be given while dating?
Well, you see, I have a tendency to give those benefits before they're deserved.
Dang. That was a good question though.
I mean, but that's something I'm self-aware about, right?
Yeah,
like,
I might dive in on that. That's crazy.
I think for me, now that I've learned some lessons in relationships, right?
Yeah.
I think some things that I would not give unless we are like married.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some things that I would not sacrifice in my own personal life.
Okay,
like
I'm 100% agree
like
with you.
at this point in
Yes.
time, I don't care who we are, who you are, dating or whatever. I'm not sacrificing some things important to me until we are sitting down and having a conversation about bridging our lives together.
Okay.
Like for example, my training, that's a non-negotiable. My competing, non-negotiable. The things that I do to coach, whether it's CrossFit or weightlifting, those things are very important to me, and the time that I dedicate to that is also important. So, sorry, but that's not going to be negotiable either. Now, if we are in the phase of building a life together and you say, okay, hey, like, we need to do X, Y, and Z, and we need to find a time, like a better way to bridge our time between each other to start a family or whatever it is, okay, then we can sit down and negotiate how things are going to look as a working unit. But for me, I've lost myself in a lot of relationships because I prioritize that, and so those are some things that I won't do.
Okay.
Like, I'm not financing any of your life goals.
Yeah, and you definitely should not.
Unless we're married
that's
we
wild.
are in a place.
People
I say
that do that,
because
that's
I have done that.
Okay, well, okay. I like the
I
honesty.
speak from a place of
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah.
I mean, not.
No, I know.
Yeah, that because people
like,
do
to
that.
a point where I worked full time, so my partner could pursue his dreams without a job.
Yeah,
that's definitely not something I would ever do. I'm not.
I'll recommend to anybody.
Yeah, I'm not letting you use my vehicle if you don't have one.
Yeah,
like,
that stuff.
There are just things. I mean, I'm also at this point not dating somebody that doesn't have their own
vehicle. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
But I think some of those things, and I think you could speak to that, was when you were a lot younger too. So your mindset was different. So definitely shout out to my young folks.
Shout out to me for the growth.
Yes. Oh, damn. Hey, shout out to you for the growth.
Thank you.
But
I know that's not what you were gonna say, but
also let our young,
proud of you, sir. Let come a long way.
Hey, let our young people know, man. Find somebody that got a car. Yay. Find somebody that got goals, dreams, that's doing something for themselves. Please start. Don't be getting yourself in dead end situation with people doing nothing.
Not even dead end situations.
There's
I
nothing.
thought you were gonna say debt. Don't let yourself get into debt for a person.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, another thing that I'm not gonna do unless I'm in a marriage.
Yeah. Say it.
Share any financial responsibility.
Oh, of course not.
So we're not opening a credit
card. Yeah,
we're
not doing that. I ain't giving out no loans.
I'm not co-signing
nothing.
on anything.
Yeah, that bad.
We're not like even moving into
because
an
people
apartment.
do that and then don't even know how people are with their finances. I'd be like, what?
Or you break up and then who takes the responsibility?
Exactly.
Of that
and then
decision?
just you getting going to business with people and then break up. I'd be like, man, this is some of the nasty stuff I done seen.
It gets ugly.
More power to you.
And at least if you're married, you have that binding contract of marriage where you have to figure it out. Yeah. But if you're just dating, that person can go ghost.
Yeah.
You could go ghost and leave them in the dust with all of that responsibility, depending on how you set it up. So, you got to make wise choices.
Say less.
Well,
we good?
We good.
Hey, episode 10, man.
Episode 10.
We made it to the double digits. All right, good night, people. I love y'all.
About to throw. Oh.
Man, that thing fell.
We gonna edit that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fix it.
oh man.
You know what I was thinking too when I hung it up? I'm like, imagine if this ever fell during an episode.
Man, now you gotta edit the whole part out.
No, I'm gonna just do it again. What the hell? I'm gonna go right back to what I was talking about. Get out of here. I'm not gonna edit it out. What does this look like?
I didn't know what it looked like. That's what I asked you.
Looks like our background fell.
Dang.
Imagine if I wasn't even recording the whole time. I say that every episode.
You do. I just be trying to figure out why you say that every
Because
episode.
I'm nervous. Like, what if I don't stop? What if that really happens? Okay.
You ready? You ready?
Oh, we just gonna start the whole segment again?
Nah, we not. That's exactly what we gonna do. So Sarah.
Wait, pause for a second because
Nah.
I need somewhere to edit it. Okay, go ahead.